Hello, everyone. Welcome to Met Amps. I am Ben White from Audio Galleries, and I am here today with Yemel, who is the Exec Director of Decentraland Foundation. How are you doing, Yemel? You all right?
Doing great. Thank you, Benjamin,
Excellent.
for having me here.
How are you finding Met Amps and this beautiful arena in Amsterdam?
Yeah, this is really interesting. A lot of interesting stuff happening around.
And you're here as a partner of Met Amps, right?
We are sponsoring the conference. We have a booth here, participating in a talk yesterday.
Right. And how was that? How was the talk? Good?
Yeah, really interesting. Yeah, I love it.
I am personally a big fan of Decentraland.
Awesome.
So I've worked for projects, particularly when I used to support the artist Philip Colbert, who has an amazing artistic theme park in
Awesome.
Decentraland called Lobsteropolis. So I've got one of one skins, and I go in there occasionally. We've thrown parties with like 500 people. Um, I've been to lots of brand activations. I've always found it a very, very interesting platform. And yet, I suppose some people are quite scathing of metaverses in general.
Yeah.
I'd love to know, like, your opinion of the what the next 5 years looks like
Yeah.
for Decentraland, if you like, but
Mhm.
metaverses more holistically. Like, what does the space and the evolution of
Mhm.
of metaverses look like?
I believe the future is bright.
Okay.
Um, we started Decentraland in 2015.
Okay, so it's still a baby business, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Although you're an old one for the space.
yeah, and we saw how the concept of virtual worlds were like increasing year after year. Now we are after a big hype cycle, so I think like the overall sense is bearish around the market. But if you compare it with what it was in 2015 or 17,
Of
it's
course.
huge. Like
Yeah.
metaverse is a word that is now in the mainstream parlance. People are talking about it. I think that the things that are going to make a big change in the next 5 years are immersive technologies as the VR headsets,
Okay. Yeah.
augmented reality. We
Yeah.
have seen players like Apple getting into the game,
Hmm.
and that's not up there into the market just yet.
Yeah.
I have heard they have been installing cameras on like main stadiums, so you can watch like a main match on the first row
Right.
with
Oh,
the
that's
Vision Pro.
really clever.
I think that seeing Apple rolling out these kind of technologies will make another push and another big wave in this kind of technologies. Also, kids are using these kind of games a lot,
I know.
and they will grow older as well. And I think that chip is already in for the next generation. So
Yeah. That's really interesting, right? So you talk about like the progression from Roblox and Fortnite, which are games, and I know a lot of adults play those games.
mhm.
I'm one of them. But I think, you know, as these younger people grow into adults, etc. That's that idea of a digital representation of digital assets
Mhm.
that stays with them, right?
Yeah,
And
they already consume that. They are super used to having digital currency, understanding the value of a skin inside the game,
yes,
having their own identity, making communities, the creative power that you can have, because the kids are playing with games produced by third parties, but they are also feel empowered and create their own games.
yeah. One of the things I've been really interested in, and we'll move back to Decentraland in a moment, and I've seen a lot of people talking about this in Fortnite, is the idea of people creating their own maps.
Yeah,
And so actually taking the platform that's been created, but almost using that as a toolkit to create their own metaverses.
exactly.
How do you feel that works with what you're doing in Decentraland in terms of customization and people being able, perhaps people without a huge technical background, being able to come in and almost plug and play and build something of their own?
Yeah, we have an no-code editor tool that lets you create your space in Decentraland just by drag and dropping models. You have some smart items that let you put a screen with a video and like and pull a lever and open a door. That's something that you can do without coding.
Okay.
I think in Decentraland we have two models. We have Genesis City, which is like the main hub,
Yep.
and that set us apart of many other projects because in Roblox or Fortnite, you don't have this open world in which like one piece of land is
Yes.
created by one creator and it's right next to another creation. That concept of adjacent creations
Yeah.
kind of
Okay.
unique for us. But we still have the concept of instances, or we call it worlds.
Okay.
So if you don't want to make the investment of having like a plot of land or renting it, you can have your separated space and build something big and
Yeah.
tinker around that. Um, yeah, so I think it's totally possible to do it in the central.
We'd like to build a gallery. I know that, and we've been talking about this idea of a virtual gallery. We sell and cooperate with artists to help them sell their artworks, and we're big collectors of artwork in the Web3 space.
Mhm,
And so, I guess what I'm trying to understand is how the development works. Okay, how's best to put this? So you have open metaverses
mhm,
where people can walk around and they can experience brand, and you also have metaverse where there is a narrative, might be a game.
mhm,
So people plug in and they're in there
mhm.
because they're chasing other people to shoot,
Yep.
or they're running around to catch things, or they're building their houses, or they're
Mhm,
looking after pets, or
mhm.
whatever it is. Do you think that, one of those models is likely to be like the victor, or do you think that there is space for both to continue to grow?
We are investing in both. We have the main city, the Genesis city, in which you can explore, but at any time you can find a portal that takes you to an instance in that builds a narrative and maybe gets you retained for 30 minutes or a few hours.
Yeah.
And then you come back and continue exploring.
Okay. Okay, that's great. When it comes to like brand activations
Mhm.
in Decentraland,
Yeah.
I'd love to know how you speak with some of the big brands. I've been into like Jose Cuervo
Mhm.
tequila. I've been into Doritos.
Mhm.
There have been lots of activations. Obviously, you have the amazing parade for Pride
Yeah.
and the New Year's
Mhm.
parades as well, which is fantastic. How do you ideate with, or do you ideate with those brands
Mhm.
to talk about how they can bring their brand into Decentraland and create something for people to explore?
Yeah. In general, brands come to us
Okay.
and they have an idea in general, like, or they have a product or a part of their brand they want to bring to the metaverse.
Yep.
So we help them with some consulting on what can be done inside the center and how we can adapt that idea into our platform. So that consultancy is like a few meetings. Then we maybe can come up with a proposal for them. And in general, we leverage a big studio. We have a list of 100 studios, verified partners that know the central technology well enough,
Right.
and they are all around the world. And we decide, or we help the brand decide who working with along the project.
Right. So you help facilitate partnerships.
Exactly, exactly.
Great.
We are a non-profit in the Central Foundation.
Yep.
So actually, what we are trying to do is build an ecosystem for creators. So we want creators to make a living about building experiences in the central.
Yeah.
So being the matchmaker or helping them like streamline work, I think it's a win-win for both sides.
I think it's fantastic. Okay. Well, look, thank you so much for your
Yeah.
time. It's been really, really great meeting you today. Have
Thank you.
a good rest of the exhibition.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
Benjamin. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.